Repeater. Now let's get back to proxy history and choose a request. We will send this request to the Repeater tab. To do this, use the context menu and choose Send to Repeater, or just hit the keyboard shortcut, which is Command plus R on a Mac. And we can do the same thing from the bottom panel also. I'm just going to press Command R now. Notice that the Repeater tab changed its color and is now highlighted. Let's switch to the Repeater tab. We'll see a new subtab here labeled 1. Burp assigns sequential numbers to new tabs. Below the label, we have a content panel populated with the sent HTTP request. We have the same viewing modes, raw, hex, or structured, like in the previous tabs we saw. But also notice here the additional params tab because the request has parameters. Above we have some buttons, send, which triggers the request, cancel, and back and forward buttons to navigate between requests. This is especially useful when dealing with HTTP redirects. We can add a new request by clicking the last tab, the one labeled with the 3 dots. To better organize our tabs, we can rename each tab by double-clicking it. We can also move tabs around as we wish by clicking and dragging. Now let's actually send this request and see what happens. And we get a response. The red panel now contains that response. Above the panel we have the target domain where the request was sent. Beneath the panel, in the bottom right corner, we have the response size and duration in milliseconds. This information is useful to determine how the server reacts to changes in request input. For example, longer than average response times can indicate a denial of service situation. The duration can also be used in more advanced attacks, such as blind time-based SQL injection, where we would use the sleep SQL command to make the database sleep, hence delaying application response by the time it sleeps. And we have the same viewing modes we're already accustomed to. Let's switch back to the left panel. The context menu here has some interesting features like change request method, copy the curl command, etc. A unique feature for this panel is the change request method. Let's try it out by using the context menu and selecting it. We see that Burp automatically converted our request to a post request, with everything a post request needs, including the content length header, which is mandatory for these requests. We edit the request however we wish. For example, let's add a parameter to this request. We can just do it by editing the raw request. Burp will adjust the content length header automatically for us. Let's change it back to a GET request. To do that, just select the same option from the context menu. Note that Burp also converted the parameters for us and appended them to the URL as GET parameters. And of course, it works the other way around. Let's try out some of Burp's encoding features. In any request tab, we can just select some text, access the context menu, and go to Convert Selection. Here we have a bunch of options. We can choose between URL, HTML, and base64 encodings. Let's check out the URL menu. We can choose to encode key characters only, that would break the HTTP request, or all of them. Because our selection doesn't have any key characters, let's choose encode all characters. Notice that each character from our selection was URL encoded. We can send a request and it works fine. Both panels offers the ability to perform search queries via the bottom text box. We can just type the word and Burp will highlight it automatically if it exists. If multiple results are found, we can use the arrows to move between them. Some search options are available in the cogwheel menu next to the search box. We can opt for case-sensitive search or go for the more advanced regex queries. The third option makes Burp scroll automatically to the search results. Let's try it out. Just search for a different word. And voila! Burp takes us there immediately. Nice! A quicker way to get to our search results.